Dart School presents Solving Problems. In this video, we are going to look into some word problems related to linear equations. And here comes the first one. The sum of two numbers is 40. If one is 6 more than the other, what are the numbers? So we have two numbers, and it's given that they add up to 40. It's also given that one of the numbers, the two numbers are not equal. One of the numbers is 6 more than the other. So if I name one of the numbers as x, the other number is 6 more than x, that's written as x plus 6. So here we have our equation, x plus 6, this is the first number, this is the second number, is equal to 40. You can open up the parentheses, that's not needed in this case. So we have x plus 6 is equal to 40. X plus x is 2x, and therefore we have 2x plus 6 is equal to 40. Get rid of the 6, that means subtract 6 and do that from both sides. So we have 2x plus 0 is equal to 40 minus 6, that is 34, or 2x is equal to 34. I'm going to take it up over here. If 2x is 34, what's x? 2 times x is 34. To find x, we divide both sides with 2. 2 and 2 cross off, meaning we have a 1 there. 1x is the same as x, and therefore x is equal to 17. So we got one of the two numbers, that's 17, and the other one, being 6 more than that, is 17 plus 6, which is 23. If you add up 17 and 23, obviously you get 40. And that's actually a cool way to check that the answer that you got is right. If you got it wrong, let's say you didn't have a 17 here, let's say you made a mistake with this division and somehow you got an 18, let's say. Now if you put an 18 over here and 18 plus 6 is 24, if you add up 18 and 24, you get 42, you don't get 40. And that tells you that, okay, I should have had a 40 if I added up my two numbers. I'm getting a 42. That means something wrong with this 24 and 18. I haven't got the right answer. So you can always go back and recheck your steps. Okay, let's try another one. There are 12 tables in a restaurant. Some of the tables can seat 4 persons and the rest can seat 6 persons each. If the total number of persons who can be seated is 56, that's the total number of persons who can be seated, how many of each type of table are there? So we need to find out how many 4-seaters and how many 6-seaters are there. So we have our two boxes or two numbers that represent the number of each type of table. Let's say this is the number of 4-seaters and this is the number of 6-seaters. And they add up to the number of 4-seaters and the number of 6-seaters add up to the total number of tables, which is equal to 12. Now if I use x for the number of 4-seaters, what is the number of 6-seaters in terms of x? To find that out, let's consider this. Let's say you have a straight line and the length of the straight line is 12. That's from start to finish. 12 units. I don't care what that unit is. Now if I were to take away a portion of this and call that portion x, let's say from start to here is x. This portion is x. The question is, what is the length of the remaining portion? Now obviously, the remaining portion will be such that x plus that remaining portion will add up to 12. That cannot be a different number. That's fixed. And therefore the remaining portion is going to be equal to 12 minus the full length minus whatever you have taken off. That is 12 minus x. And if you add these two up, you add x plus 12 minus x. You take the x on the other side, you have x minus x plus 12. And that indeed is equal to 12. X and x cross off, you have a 0. So if that makes sense, by now, I'm sure you must be convinced that the number of 6-seaters is 12 minus x. In terms of x, that is. If you change x, 12 minus x will also change. But the sum of the two will always be 12. Now let's talk about the second part of the problem. It says that the total number of people who can be seated is 56. Look at this number. So something is equal to 56. Now what is that something? Well, if there are x number of 4-seaters, on each one of them, you could have 4 people seated. So the total number of people who could be seated on all the 4-seaters taken together is going to be 4 multiplied with x, or 4x. And the total number of people who can be seated on the 6-seaters, all of them taken together, is going to be 6 times the number of 6-seaters, which is 12 minus x. The parenthesis is important because 6 is being multiplied with everything inside the parenthesis, not just with the 12. And then if you add the two up, the number of people who can be seated on the 4-seaters, the number of people who can be seated on the 6-seaters, together add up to the total number of people who can be seated, which is 56. Time for us to solve this equation. The first step is to open up the parentheses, that is, distribute the 6, meaning multiply the 6 with each term inside the parentheses. So we have 4x plus 6 times 12 plus 6 times negative x is equal to 56. Let's keep going. 4x plus 6 times 12 is 72 plus 6 times negative x is negative 6x is equal to 56. Bring the x's together. We have 4x minus 6x plus 72 is equal to 56. Which means 4x minus 6x is negative 2x, nothing to be worried about, plus 72 is equal to 56. We need to get rid of the plus 72, and therefore, you guessed it right, we are going to subtract 72 from both sides. And then I'm going to take this on this side. I hope you don't mind. So we have negative 2x plus 72 minus 72 is equal to 56 minus 72. Or negative 2x plus 72 minus 72 is 0. Reason why we subtracted 72 from both sides. Wanted to get rid of this 72. So minus 2x plus 0 is equal to 56 minus 72 is negative 16. Or negative 2x is equal to negative 16. We need x, we don't need negative 2x, and therefore, to get x, you divide both sides with negative 2. So we have x is equal to negative 16 over negative 2 is positive 8. The number of 4-seaters is 8. The number of 6-seaters has to be 12 minus 8, which is 4. Once again, a quick check that we got this number right. 4 times 8 is 32. And 6 times 4 is 24. If you add up 24 and 32, you get nothing but 56.